think we can see your chat. Okay. Awesome. Alright, and then we got a little bit started late, but that's okay. At least we his.
Yes, we are here.
Alright. So, welcome everybody to Show Me Your Geek. We talk about everything in the geek culture, geek community, bringing our community together, one topic at a time. So, we're your hosts,
Rail Miller.
Maria Lizz. And today we are diving into our ultimate favorites of the 80s and the 90s. So we're going to have kind of a little TV showdown covering exactly what we at least want to relive when our favorite childhood couch potato memories.
Yes.
So let's get into it. For everyone in the chats, go ahead and put in there. Are you 80s babies? Are you 90s babies? A little bit of both. And let's see which one's the favorite decades of all of people who are watching us today. All right. We're just going to jump right on in. We'll go right in, I guess, with my favorite cartoons in the 80s.
Yes.
Darrell, do you have anything from the 80s?
Yes,
I know you weren't born yet, but...
Yes, I do, actually. My favorite of all time, You Got On Your Side. I don't know if I should say it because that'd be a cheat code. So, I don't know. I'm going to wait till you get off your list and I'll get out my favorite 80s cartoon of all time.
Okay, all right, we can go with that. So my favorite cartoons from the 80s, this is not an all-inclusive list. There is no way I could have put that on this list and have a 30-minute episode. But some of the tops that first come to mind when I think of 80s cartoons, Saturday, Sunday morning cartoons, He-Man and She-Ra, definitely two different cartoons, but they go together, right, because they're siblings, so there we are. That's kind of at the top right there. I feel like those two characters encapsulate the 80s, right? Whether it's the cartoon, the action figures, the toys, everything about them, 100% 80s right there. And I'm not talking about the newer Netflix crap. I'm talking about actual original 1980s cartoon, the best ever. He-Man and She-Ra, hands down. Definitely top 10 for sure. Rainbow Bright has to be on the top list as well. I feel like that obviously is an 80s cartoon. I know there might have been some remakes out there, not talking about those either. The absolute original, again, same thing. I feel like Rainbow Bright just is 80s. I think anytime you bring up Rainbow Bright, everyone knows what we're talking about. Care Bears. I don't care. I will watch Care Bears to this day. I will sit down and watch a whole movie. Care Bears, Care Bear Cousins, the whole thing. Care Bear Stare, I'll sit there with my stomach out, all of it. And then, let me think. I have My Little Pony. And yes, I'm talking about the original ones that look like actual ponies. Definitely on my list, of course, too. I would watch that religiously. I probably owned every single pony that came out. Probably still have some up in my attic somewhere. But definitely My Little Pony on that list, 100% for the 80s, hands down. And don't get me wrong, I love the newer My Little Pony series as well. I would watch them as two, even cosplay some of the newer My Little Ponies, like Rarity. Love my Rarity. But 100% 80s, hands down, My Little Pony encapsulates also 80s. When I just think of 80s, that's the first thing that comes to my head for some cartoons. And I know I'm going to miss some. I know y'all going to be like, but what about this one? What about this one? I know I'm going to miss a lot. These are just the ones that come to my head, top of the list. Not necessarily the best per se, but just my top, like when I think 80s, the first ones that come to my head, they're the ones that I watched or I played with the toys, like when I was a kid growing up in the Thundercats, 100%, obviously.
That's a good
Had to be in that list, of course. You know, Lionel and Arts and all of them. So, you know, that 100% was an 80s cartoon to the T. And then, you know, G.I. Joe was 100%, of course, an 80s cartoon. Can't skip that one out. And I could go on, like I said, I could go on literally probably for 30 minutes by itself, just naming off all of the greatest 80s cartoons that there are. But I'm going to stop there because you need to talk as well. So, but yeah, so that's just a very, very condensed short list of just some of the very first cartoons that I thought of when I was making this list. And I was like, I can't put everything out there, but definitely some of my tops were the first ones that came to mind, at least when I was thinking of the 80s cartoons that I remembered watching every Saturday, every Sunday, as soon as I got home from school, and just really reminded me of those younger years of my life, growing up in the 80s, or just the toys that I had, you know, from those cartoons. So that would be my list. What about yours? You think of 80s cartoons? What do you think of?
My favorite all-time that you got on your list is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's my favorite 80s cartoon.
Yep.
I used to watch it religiously all the seasons. Actually, it's my favorite of all time, including the 90s movies and stuff. So for you to have 80s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is everything. And the crazy part, I got to interview some of the voice actors from the 80s and stuff like that. So that was like a childhood accomplishment
that
I can have. That I get to
definitely
interview some of the voice actors like April O'Neil, Leo, Donatello and stuff. I still got to interview Raph and Mikey, but just to have a couple of them, it was amazing. So I would say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the 80s is my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
I got a lot of great hits in the 80s.
Definitely remember watching them growing up as well. Probably playing with those action figures too.
Yeah.
Usually it was other people's, but I remember playing with them too. The movies were definitely something else.
Yeah.
We can leave it at that.
Right.
But entertaining nonetheless, for sure. So I guess we'll move on. This next list is not as long, but favorite action shows from the 80s. I was born in 80, and so the shows that I watched usually were like with my dad or like with my parents.
Right.
So it's more like what was he watching?
Right.
But the ones that I remember specifically, like action shows, or I think ones that like are pop culture, I guess that everyone would recognize as an 80s like action like show. Even now, like I think A-Team. Definitely. I have some pictures in case people don't know who these people are. I didn't print off the cartoons. It's like it wasn't really necessary for the cartoons to be printed off. But, you know, we have the A-Team, of course, and everybody should know these characters. If you don't, like, go watch some A-Team. And I think with the A-Team, I think it's important to note, like, they, like, with most 80s shows, cartoon shows, whatever, you know, it's very clear, like you had the clear good guys, you had the clear bad guys, and in every episode, it was, okay, they were going through whatever their mission was or whatever their story was, and then it's like the good guys always beat the bad guys by the end of the episode, and everyone was like happy, and that was it.
Yeah.
And with the A-Team, like they had that big black van,
Yeah.
and they were always like jumping in and out of this black van, like they were shooting their guns, like whatever. And it's like I just always wanted to have this like big black van, so that I could, you know, jump in and out and like do really cool stunts with it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, but A-Team, very important because we have Mr. T, guys.
Yes.
Okay.
Classic.
So important to name Mr. T. The 80s were really important, not just because I was born in the 80s, but obviously 80s film, cartoon movies, shows, everything. Obviously, right, had a very important impact, right, on who I am today. And I would say, you know, characters like Mr. T probably a little bit on that jungle fever that I've got now. So we can blame the 80s for that, you guys. No secret. No, anyone who knows me already knows White ate right, and we can blame Mr. T for that. All right, so moving on. Next one, Knight Rider. I think we all love ourselves a little Knight Rider. Hasselhoff was in that, obviously. He was not just a beach bum. He was driving around that really cool car. Do you know Knight Rider?
No.
Hold on, you guys. I need a drink for this. And if anyone wants to know what I'm drinking, it's my Captain and Pineapple. It's my signature drink. If we were on Twitch, I would be, I have my own little emoji. That's the Captain and Pineapple that I can put on the Twitch too. So, anyways, let me take a drink because I can't believe you don't know Knight Rider. Yes, that is true. You are. And so Knight Rider, honestly, I'm not even going to go to the synopsis of the show, but we have David Hasselhoff as the main character. But quite honestly, you guys, who is the real main character? It is Kit, okay? Let us be real. Kit is the real main character in Knight Rider, right? The awesome Pontiac, I think it was like a 1988, 1986, I don't know, something Pontiac. I don't know cars, so don't quote me, right? Black car, but when he would talk, he had the red light that would go across the front. Kit was sexy, okay, guys? We know this. I don't have any, weird, infatuation with cars because of Knight Rider, so don't worry, guys. No weird sex stories for that one. But yeah, Knight Rider was really cool, and I think it was kind of a fun action sci-fi type show. And like I said, I'm not gonna go into synopsis about it, but it was a fun show. It was one of my faves, and definitely enjoyed watching that one. And then the last action show I'm going to talk about is Miami Vice. Have you at least heard of that one?
Yes, I heard of Miami Vice.
All right, good.
I
don't have any pictures for Miami Vice. But that one was definitely a really interesting show. Kind of a breakthrough show, because like I said, a lot of shows in the 80s were, happy, and we had the good guys and the bad guys, and everybody's at the end of every episode was always oh, the good guy won, and da-da-da-da. But Miami Vice kind of broke that mold a little bit with that really wasn't always the case, and without, again, going into big of a synopsis, at least with the pilot episode, the good cops found out that not all the cops are good. And it was kind of, breaking the mold of some of those shows from back then. So Miami Vice, definitely great action show. And I have a trivia question for Miami Vice, but we'll come to that later when I'm done talking about my little 80s stuff here. The next little section.
Totally into the first generation.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Come on, you're fine.
You want to take a picture with it? See?
They just started selling those. Remember the flip?
Yes.
So now they sell the first generation at Walmart for kids.
Yeah, man. I remember those classic ones.
Give us just a second, guys. We are, like I said, we're recording live outside, so someone's gonna take a picture.
And this is what we do. So sometimes you see us in the studio, sometimes you see us live. It's all fun.
I like your shirt, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, you got the classic.
Yeah, Target fine right there. That's sick.
Yeah.
So how does it just...
I
Is
got
that one magnet or is that one?
Nope.
Oh, okay. That one has the clips on the side.
Do y'all make for all of them?
No, so I got this from Aniki on Etsy.com. It's like $350.
Yeah, we're looking at those.
Yeah, get it from them because this is where I got mine from.
Were y'all on TikTok?
Yeah, we going live on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't got Instagram or Facebook. I do got TikTok.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I'm on my TikTok right now.
Yeah.
Okay, what's that TikTok go? Anarchy, all right, I'm looking into that. Yeah, my son's been obsessed with this, so I was like, I need to get on.
Yeah, I got to play the Black Ranger in June with Roger Velasco, the Black in Space Ranger.
Okay.
So we just shot like a comedy, kick-ass type of version of Power Rangers, the fans of Power Rangers. So hopefully it comes out soon, maybe in September or something like that will come out.
That's
but yeah.
sick. Cool, man. Yeah, I got a 5-year-old and he's just obsessed with it.
Get him on it. Have him start from season 1 and up.
What's the TikTok?
It's the Foxie Foxie Vixen Vixen.
Got you. Yeah, I see you're live right now.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Drop your follow.
All right,
Thanks so much.
have a good one.
Thank you.
See, that's what we do. So you can always come to us and we show love back. You know me, we shout you out in your shows or anything like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the fun part about being live. Is that things have
Right.
nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Go with it, so it's very exciting. All right, where was I at? Oh yeah, sitcoms. Sitcoms are the next section, I guess you would call it, for lack of a better word here. So I have a few there. First one I have, if anyone remembers this one, is Beauty and the Beast. And so you know that one?
Mm-hmm.
No, okay. I'm like, that's how you know some things about others. Okay. So I don't even know if I'm going to call Beauty and the Beast sitcom. I don't really know where to stick it. But I feel like it was like one of the first romantic-y shows, though, if you will, because you had Ron Perlman, right? He played this like lion creature that like lived in like the sewers or like some underground, like I don't know, I guess sewers for lack of a better word. And then got like found out by this chick who was like an attorney or something. But anyways, I'm not gonna go into this, like I'm not gonna break down everything. But man, you guys, listen. Tell me, he was hot. He was hot. And I think, honestly, if we're going to be for reals, all right, hear me out. I like having hear me outs. But honestly, probably, again, 80s, this is probably where some of my smut infatuations will come from. What? I'm just saying, listen, I can't even say like this is really like a monster. So I can't say this is probably where my monster infatuations have come from, but like, I don't know, like, well, you know, whatever. 80s started a lot of things, okay? And you guys are, anyone who knows me, like a lot of the things I'm saying right now, it's not new, right? But we're learning where the root of this started, okay? I know. You don't, I don't even know why you're surprised at anything I'm saying. Like, yeah, I don't know why either, like seriously. I know. So, yeah, so Beauty and the Beast. That was a fun one. I remember my dad and I watching that all the time. I didn't really understand the show. I was like, why is this lion dude like in the sewers? But whatever. It was a great show anyway. Next one, Punky Brewster. You guys, as a kid, as a young, you know, impressionable young girl, Punky Brewster was shit. You know, like was the shit rather. Like punky power, girl power. You know what I'm saying? And then like, yeah, just everything about it. Except for that one episode where Cherry got stuck in the refrigerator. That one still pisses me off. But other than that one, I really do like Punky Brewster. Like, yeah, just 100% 80s right there. So that one had to be absolutely mentioned. Next one, Different Strokes. I still quote from this show. Like, you know, I still do the, like, what you talking about, Willis? You know? Yeah. So the fact that I still quote from that show and we're here like 40 years later, 100% needed to be mentioned as well. That was a fun show. That was a great show. Very wholesome. Okay, I'm only bringing up this show. Okay, I don't want anyone hating on me for bringing up this show. So Dukes of Hazzard. I'm only bringing up Dukes of Hazzard because I really think that my driving abilities came from Dukes of Hazzard. Really, the only thing I remember from Dukes of Hazzard is literally them like driving and like beating to death every single one of their cars, and that's really all I remember. If you like were to ask me like what the point of that show was, I couldn't tell you. I know they pissed off the white governor guy or whatever like he was. Other than that, I don't know. But really, it's just the driving fast, driving reckless, and constantly breaking that vehicle as they drove over those hills and shit. That was the only reason I had to mention Dukes of Hazzard. But we're gonna move on. Alf, of course, had to be mentioned. Any alien show from the 80s in which you know he's trying to eat the cat. Great show. If you don't know Alf, I 100% recommend watching it. Very funny show. Again, another wholesome. All the sitcoms in the 80s, I feel, were very wholesome. Very full of like, oof, that sun is horrible right now. You know, obviously very like, oh, what is the lesson learned? Whatever. But Alf was funny. Alf was great. In fact, I think at GalaxyCon, last year we met, like, there were like 2 or 3 guys, they were dressed up as different elves.
Yeah.
It was great. I loved it. Yeah, we got some pictures of them. It was fun. And then, of course, had to mention this one. And most of the ones I picked, I tried not to pick anything that kind of started at the end of the 80s and then ran more into the 90s. But this one had to be mentioned. Star Trek Next Generation. Of course. Okay. Had to mention Star Trek because, you know, love of my life is in there. Picard. So we had to. Well, actually, Picard, although he is the love of my life, let's be real. The real love of my life was Worf. Okay. And he has aged gracefully. If anyone has watched the new Picard and seen Worf recently, oh, chef's kiss. Oh my God. Okay, I can still swoon over Worf. Klingons are amazing. We're just gonna leave it there. Kapla. Oh my God. God, we just speaking in other languages here. But anyways, we're just gonna blame Worf for my alien infatuation. All right, then we're gonna throw in, I didn't even know where to put this one, so it's kind of in its own little category, but Fraggle Rock definitely had to be mentioned. I was gonna do like Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers, but they like spanned over decades.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's not just 80s, even though obviously it had a really big impact on my TV watching as a child, but Fraggle Rock, 100% had to be thrown in there. I can still sing the song, clap to it, dance to all of them, but we're gonna move on so you have some time to talk too. So, quick trivia for those watching. Please, please, please chat if you know this in either Darrell's Facebook or on my TikTok. Question. Sorry, I was reading chat. What Phil Collins song debuted in Miami Vice pilot episode and really is kind of probably what made that song like go super, super famous and popular? I'm going to give you guys a few seconds. If you don't know it, you have a few seconds to Google it real quick. You should know just by, me saying Phil Collins song, but just in case. Do you know what it is?
I do.
Yeah, I just didn't know. Yeah, Tater, I wouldn't expect you to know either. You're kind of young. Give it just a few more seconds to see if anybody might know the answer to this. What's up, Jeff? Hey, Shelly. Welcome.
What's up,
hey,
y'all?
Keith. What's up?
Oh, that's my aunt.
Oh,
How you doing,
hi, Aunt
Chef?
Shelly.
Yo, Keith is here. What's Jeff?
You guys, sorry, like the sun is right in my eyes.
I
So
know,
it is
it's-
really hard to see the chat, so I apologize. We are outside because we want to be, Tater. Sometimes you got to roll with what you got. Yeah, if we look odd or bored or our faces look weird, it's just because the sun all up in the grills. All right, so I'm getting a lot of I don't knows. All right, so what I'm gonna give you the answers, and you're gonna be like, I should have known this. So, the answer is In the Air Tonight.
That's what I'm about to say. I knew it.
It was debuted as part of what, towards the end of the episode, they played the song as the two main characters were getting ready to basically go, as I said, go confront the officers or people that they realized were corrupt. It was a very, very interesting scene, and one of the first times that music was kind of used to articulate like the mood for a scene, and really started that kind of like using music in film. And so it's kind of really pivotal in shows. And I kind of just lost so awesome. And then, well, I'll just skip this one. So we'll skip this. Okay, so before we scoot or move on over to the 90s segment, oh my gosh, of the show, did I miss anything from the 80s that were in your top 10? Tater, you said that's your mom's least favorite song?
It's a classic hit.
Oh my God, that's like literally my favorite, like probably my only song from Phil Collins I really, really like.
Really?
I like some of his other songs, but that one is absolutely like that one comes on and I'm just like like don't let that song come on when I'm driving.
Yeah.
Because like my hand's off the wheel and I'm doing the whole drum set at the.
You got here is was it Tarzan album? The one he did the whole soundtrack for Tarzan.
I didn't know he did the whole soundtrack.
I think so.
Hmm.
I believe.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So, yeah, that's the whole thing.
All right, you guys. So put in there if I missed anything from the 80s, whether it's cartoon, TV shows, whatever it is, like throw in there. What did I miss? I know I missed a lot because, like I said, I could take up the whole 30 minutes by myself just talking about 80s cartoons alone. So I purposefully did not do my whole list. So Darrell had at least a few minutes to talk. And that's also why I kind of rushed through everything because I wanted to make sure we had time to go over the 90s as well. We had time to go over the 90s as well. All right, guys, we're going to try this again. Out of the sun this time.
It's so hot out here.
It is definitely a little warm, that is for sure. At least it's in the shade now, so we should be good. Sorry for that little hiccup, guys. Yeah. Tater, you said your brother tried to dance to the Tarzan baby song?
Oh, yeah, that's a classic. It's a classic. So, ready?
Was overheating. It was in the sun.
Sorry about that, y'all. We are back.
Yes. All right.
So let's start with this 90s. You already know that 90s got some of the best all-time shows. So I'm going to start with my number one pick for favorite 90s cartoon, and that's Rugrats. Now, I know all of y'all must have watched Rugrats back in the day. Whether you were kids, teenagers, you watched it. It's a classic. It is dope. It's something that helped bring out your imaginations. Like Tommy, you got Chucky, Phil, Lil, you got annoying Angelica, you got Susie, you know what I mean, and how they go on adventures. And not only that, man, they end up clapping with Wild Thornberries. Come on now, they are classic, man. So I had to put in Rugrats because it's definitely one of my favorite shows of all time that I can come on and watch anytime. My second pick also is Hey Arnold. Hey Arnold's another classic. How you so broke but still got one of the best partner rooms I ever seen. Like, he's so broke but had the best room even from the rich girl and everybody in Rugrats. In Hey Arnold, I mean. Like, so that's just a dope show. The adventures of him doing the school. Every time they had to, work on bullies. Somebody did one of my favorite episodes with, I think it was like 6th graders, try to dump them out in the trash can. And all that, so I gotta give it up to Hey Arnold. It's one of the classic 90s shows of all time. And then on top of that, we got Batman, the animation series. One of the GOATs, if not the GOAT series of animation cartoons. Hero, superhero project. A lot of people trying to imitate Batman, the animated series. It is goated all throughout the season. Then you got Static Shock coming in as a crossover. You got all these other characters coming in. Batman got the best villains, I think, in his universe of all time. So Batman animated series is goated. Next